Happy Friday. We actually managed to do it for once. You weren't sat there for about 2 minutes going, where's he going? What button is he pushing? Woo! Did it. Happy Friday. I think there is a bank holiday coming up soon as well, isn't there? I thought it was going to be this Friday. Maybe.
Bank holidays on Monday.
Is it? There's supposed to be a Friday one coming up as well in May. Oh, it's the end of May. Well, anyway. Hello and welcome to the Dark
Narcissist show.
Dark Mirror. Yeah. I was just going like that because it looks like I have long hair then. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a good idea. Today we'll be loosely, and I mean loosely because you know what the Dark Mirror show is like. So I'll say loosely. Be talking about the number 13. I'm trying to get off this. How do you get off
No, that's
this?
live comments.
Nothing's in it. Is there anybody here? Is there actually anybody here watching us? Anybody from the other show joining us? Anybody in here watching us?
No, that's
No.
just leave it.
No, just no. There's nobody here. So
Just
carry
leave
on.
it.
Okay, so we're on our own.
We're not. There's 7 people watching.
Hello, 7 people.
6 now.
We're gonna stuff you. We're going to talk about triskaidekaphobia now, or triskaidekaphobia. And triskaidekaphobia is the fear of number 13, the number. No, we're going to do 13, and maybe it's enough time to do this. If not, we can do it next week. I like to mix it about and mess with your head.
Hello, other 6.
Hello, Dave. Right. So yeah, triskaidekaphobia. It's just the fear of number 13. And I think a lot of us may know where the origin of the fear of number 13 comes from. And that same origin of the fear of number 13 is also in a very, very famous, I'm not going to say trilogy because originally it was a trilogy, but long line of movies that particular phobia is the main plot for, which one was it? No, not Friday the 13th, you Wally. Star Wars!
Oh, that's a reach, isn't it?
No.
Star Wars.
I'm going to have to educate my daughter in this. Right. Who, you guys might know it. If you do, shh. Right. What order did Emperor Palpatine give out?
Order number 13.
Right. There was a certain Pope gave out an order.
I know all of this, but that's like...
It's exactly the same. It's also
but not the entire series is based on.
No, but the fact that the Jedi got wiped out was all based on that one order.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Go.
Hello, Facebook user.
Go to your room.
Hello, Facebook user.
Then try cheering up, not having a face like a snapped ass. Right.
Oh, I can't help it. I look like you.
Yeah, and? Turn this round.
Stop picking on me.
Hello, who is Facebook user? If you could, anybody who comes in, it says Facebook user. If you could possibly sign in, then we can see who you are and see your names and everything. Because it just doesn't come up on here as who you are. Yeah. Tri or triskaidekaphobia. Tri meaning 3, deca meaning 10, and phobia, which is fear. So it's a fear of 10 and 3. Oh God! And there's another one which I will try and read out for you. Do you want to have a crack at that one?
No.
Parascavadecatreophobia. Yes. The fear of Friday the 13th. And the fear of Friday the 13th, which I didn't know. Actually, this is a real fact here. You're gonna get a real. Oh dear! Don't do Star Wars. I'm Star Wars nut, as you can probably tell by the background. Hang on, let's do it that way. Yes. The fear of Friday the 13th actually seriously results in financial losses in excess of $800 million annually, as people avoid marrying, traveling, or in the most severe cases, even working on Friday the 13th, which is odd. I'm just glad I didn't get married on Friday the 13th. You'd have thought so. Right. Now, where shall we go?
My anniversary is on 3 days.
The anniversary, that's
Star Wars Day.
May the 4th. 7 years?
6.
6 years. My young apprentice here and her other half will have been together 6 years on May the 4th. Star Wars Day Facebook user. Right, let's have a look there. There was actually a study done in the British Medical Journal, of all things, that indicates that there was actually data that exists that Friday the 13th can cause harm.
Well, wasn't the Great Fire of London?
1066.
The Black Plague.
No, not 1066. Yeah, 1066. No, 1666.
1066 was the Battle of
It was, wasn't it? Yes. I'll tell you what, you do a little bit of reading.
Okay.
I will open the beer, would you? No, you can't.
In 1993,
Studies?
A 1993 study published in the British Medical Journal indicates otherwise. Researchers analysed the traffic flow and number of injuries from car accidents on the southern section of London's M25 motorway during the 5 months that the Friday the 13th fell between 1990 and 1992. Doesn't make sense because it was only 5 months. They compared these numbers to data collected on Friday the 6th of the same month and found that although there are consistencies, fewer vehicles on the road during the 13th, possibly as a result of superstitious people choosing not to drive that day.
Or dogs trying to eat their way through the bedroom door.
The researchers proposed the risk of hospital admission as the result of transport accidents may be increased by as much as 52% on the 13th.
So there you go. Friday the 13th. If you've got any excuse to stay at home, stay in your bed and just not do anything, do it. Right. So could you please let the hounds of hell in here because they're trying to eat their way through the bedroom door.
Yeah, that's good. I guarantee that's
That's going to be a little tiny black pug.
It is. Come on.
Put your candle drill away and just come in.
He's just lying. There we go.
I thought he was telling the truth. Hello. You all right, Chubby? Right.
He's not chubby, he's festively plump.
Festively plump. Right. Now, as I was trying to say about the Knights of the Knights Templar, they were arrested on Friday the 13th.
He's under your bed.
He's under the bed. Oh, dear God, help us all. Dan Brown's book, which one was it? It was Da Vinci Code, tries to use the fear of Friday the 13th in his book, but don't know. But the knights in question, the Knights Templar, were arrested on Friday, October the 13th in 1307. But
day before my birthday.
That is the main thing that makes people freak, or made people freak out about Friday the 13th. But it wasn't the origin of the actual superstition of it. There are a lot of contenders for why Friday the 13th is scary, but right now the hottest take on Friday the 13th is that it actually wasn't associated with bad luck until the year 1907, when a novel entitled Friday the 13th was published. And in this book, on number 13, it was a book about number 13, the author, Nathaniel, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his surname, Lacan-Mayaregas, or Lacan-Mayaregas. Yeah, Nathaniel Lacan-Mayaregas. He said that before the 20th century, 13 had actually been an unlucky number, and Friday had been an unlucky day. But Friday the 13th wasn't actually a concept. See, Friday the 13th. I normally find that on, I mean, I expect you guys will find it yourselves. Facebook user who's talking about Friday the 13th. Who are you? What is your name? Friday the 13th is lucky for us. So that's somebody not in the UK. It's lucky for us. In the study, people perceived it to be unlucky. So it was. Yeah, I can quite agree with that because you're not people like they're funny buggers. I normally find Friday the 13th. Nothing untoward ever happens.
My cousin was born on Friday. His birthday's Friday.
Which one?
Kieran.
Right, okay, I didn't know that. But yeah, I don't find anything untoward happens. I mean, I've been at work, I've been out on a motorbike, I've been driving. In fact, I've won 2 British titles, and one of them was won on Friday the 13th, and that was in kickboxing years ago.
I feel like if you play into it being an unlucky day, it's going to be an unlucky day. Just like any day, you can say, "Oh, I hate Wednesdays because they're unlucky," and then you'll find something to make it unlucky.
Wasn't there a song? Yeah, I think you'll be too young to know. But there was a song, wasn't there, done by the Boomtown Rats about a school shooting, Friday the 13th, Mondays. I hate Mondays.
I know that song.
Yeah, I hate. What's it called?
It was a school shooting.
I don't like Mondays. That's it.
Based on, so basically, a teenager took his father's gun. He lived opposite school.
It was a girl, wasn't it?
And
it was a girl because when she was arrested,
her,
she said, "I don't like Mondays."
And they said, "Why did you do it?" She said, "I hate Mondays."
As you do. You know, I mean, pretty much. I get peed off with certain things, but I generally, as a rule, I don't shoot people. Or maybe yell obscenities at them. That's about it. So everybody in the chat room, I still need to know who you are, what your names are. What's your take on Friday the 13th? There's lots. There are lots and lots of different stories. I have a pug down here who is hurtling around behind the bed. What are you doing? Get out of it, you little bugger. I can see you looking at me. Don't you give me them black books. Don't you do that. A pug. It may be a kebab soon if he carries on. Yeah, Baker's Dozen. That's right. Yeah. They still do Baker's Dozen in which place? I think it was Tesco's. There was a Baker's Dozen of freshly baked rolls that you could get. No, Morrison's. I'm telling you, it was Morrison's. And yes, you can still get them. And that's just me being a nosy bugger watching the neighbours drive by. That's a lot happens here.
How many kings and queens have there been since the 1900s?
How many kings and queens have there been since the 1900s?
Like 2.
What, in the UK or in the world?
UK.
Since the year 1900?
Yeah.
Well, King Edward abdicated.
This is a quiz that I was doing before I came here, and he sent me all the questions so I can fill it out.
We had Victoria, and then there was Edward, and he abdicated because he married Mrs. Simpson.
And then Victoria again. Right?
And then George took over.
And then the Queen's mother, and then her now.
I don't think the Queen's mother was ever Queen. It was King George and Queen Elizabeth II's his daughter, and then she took over.
So 3.
Yeah, 3, I think.
Okay. I'm not cheating, I swear.
So we're not actually doing a show on number 13. We're actually doing a pub quiz.
No. Well, we can make. I have all.
We can mix it. We can mix it.
Would
you like to do that, ladies and gentlemen? Would you like to sit back, crack open a beer or two, or a vodka, or maybe even do a little bit of number 13, and we can do a little bit on this pub quiz that she is doing with her friends live on Xbox.
Facebook.
Oh, you doing it on Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was on. You would. I thought you were doing it on Xbox.
Oh,
okay. Well done. So there you go. We'll do that then, shall we? Can we somebody say yes or no? In hospitals, never to ward 13. And if nurses say take patient to ward 13, it's in the morgue. Ooh, I didn't know that.
Right.
Facebook user who's come out with all this actually really good information. Who are you? I strongly suspect I know who it is, but who are you?
What is the name of Dennis Semers's dog?
Nasha. 13 used to be. Thank you, Dave Plod Biff. So, Dave, are you a character from Back to the Future, or are you actually a policeman?
This one just says Angela Carr.
What?
That one. That's one of the questions that I need to answer.
Anglia car. That's a Ford Anglia.
What's an Anglia car?
What's an Anglia car?
It's a Ford.
It's a Ford Anglia.
Okay.
No, Terry. No, we can't see your name, mate. You have to actually log in. It says to you to log in, and then we can see your names. But until then, it actually comes up in our side on the chat room. It just says Facebook user. That's why I can see Dave's name because he signed in on it, and it says his name. But for the other people who don't, it literally just says Facebook user. And because there's so many people who don't log in, I have no idea who's who and which one's saying a question and giving information. And if you're different to somebody else, that's why I always say, can you please sign in? Because otherwise I get confused really easily. I'm Irish, so I must do. Right. Now let's do. You've done a question. Can I talk a little bit about 13? Are you sure? Okay. Why is your pug touching me up? Stop doing that. That's my booty, not yours. An early myth surrounding the origin of the fear involved one of the world's oldest legal documents. I thought that said the Code of Hammurabi. The Code of Hammurabi.
Speed of light.
What about it?
When light travels through objects of different densities but is still visible to the human eye, what is that? The speed of light, right?
Well, yeah. I wasn't doing that at all.
Yeah, you were. Go on.
No. Shush. Scotty, I got a whole bag of with your name on it. Hey, kids. Anyway, it's the Code of Hammurabi, which reportedly left out a 13th law from its list of legal rules. And apparently, the omission was no more than a clerical error made by one of the document's earliest translators, who failed to include one line of text. The Code of Hammurabi was one of the earliest and most complete written legal codes. I thought that according to a lot of people, the most complete legal codes ever written were the Ten Commandments. These legal codes were basically done by the Babylonian king Hammurabi.
Can you see me, Terry Coops? No, we can't see you, but we know your name now.
We know your name now, mate, but we can't see it. It still says Facebook user. But I know it's you now, mate.
I think
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ah, mention Star Wars again.
Well, Chewie's on the bed.
Wait, this point, I will show you this.
Oh, it's you know.
It's Chewie. And it's short for Chewbacca because when he growls, he literally sounds like Chewbacca on helium.
Well, I named him before I got him.
Yeah.
And then it just fits.
Right, so you take Chewbacca.
Really?
You're going to have a black and white cat. Probably. There you go past the screen. Get your booty out my face. That is Lilo. She
Booty in Afrikaans means brother.
Booty in Afrikaans means brother.
Get your brother out my face.
She's called Lilo.
Fine.
Oh God, yeah. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, I like that movie.
Zaphod Beeblebox.
Oh.
He was the one whose head would go like that, and another head would pop up, wasn't it? Yeah. Right, where was I? King Hammurabi. He reigned from the year 1792, excuse me, to 1750 BC. And Hammurabi expanded the city-state of Babylon, Yaman Babylon, along the Euphrates River, and he united all of southern Mesopotamia. See, and this is me going off on tangent again. There's all this talk of Babylon and this, that, and the other, and then they talk about the Anunnaki and Enki.
Both Friday and 13 used to be both considered lucky.
Yeah, it was saying here that he used to be considered lucky until these things came along. I smell like you weirdo. I smell like soap.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be sniffing me. You're supposed to be entertaining.
Anunnaki, carry on.
God Almighty. Yeah. And then you've got Gilgamesh and all that lot, and you've got the Chronicles of Gilgamesh. Who was before them?
I do know.
Because they knew all about the Anunnaki and they had it all written down what had happened. And then if you go before that, who were the real people who did all this stuff? Hi, Tina, you're right. Fancy seeing you in here tonight. When I said join me, I meant if you wanted to join. No, if you wave with this hand, it just looks like I'm making a rude gesture. I'm getting really fed up with these dogs. I tell you. They're not good boys. They. Oh, and here's the other one. This Obi-Wan Kenobi's just come into the room.
Another one.
Another dog?
Yeah.
That's your dog. That's your sister.
I'm going to go cleanse my soul. Right, so you need...
It's going to take a lot of cleansing.
Give me a hand and I'll just pour it in.
No, can you guys... This is... No, you can't be doing this at the moment. Please, disappear.
Just sprinkle.
Yes.
Okay, that's a bit too much, but yeah. Oh, come on, don't get in your eyes. It'll burn.
What, you talk about holy water with your sister again?
Salt water.
Holy water. That'll burn.
What is happening?
Friday the 13th is happening now. It's happening now. All the stuff that normally goes tits up on Friday the 13th is happening now. Can you please let the dogs out and just shut the door? Please. You get out now. Thank you.
Don't speak to her like that. I know, but she's a good girl.
No. That's Ghost.
Out.
And right at the moment, I don't want any dogs in here because they keep going up to the doors. And they go, let me out! Oh, my daughter's disappeared. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't.
Are we done? You're back now?
That was protein yogurt.
Oh, right. I've completely forgotten where I
You
was.
said Ananaki.
Yeah. Forget that. Here's one for you. We used to live in London. The Savoy Hotel in London. If you book a table for a party of 13, you'll find that the table's been set for 14 guests. Casper, the black cat, will be joining you for dinner, and Casper is a 3-foot sculpture cat that resides at the Savoy Hotel.
There's a massive tower. I don't know if it's Trump Tower, but it's a massive tower in America where it has like 17 floors, but the 13th one has been blocked off.
Most hotels over there don't have a 13th floor.
And it's not on the, you can't get to lift up. There's not a number 13 on the lift or elevator, depending where you are.
And Casper apparently will this statue actually will seriously be rolled in. If you've got 13 people in your party, they'll set it in the Savoy. They will set it for 14 people. They set up a 14th place with Casper, this big black cat. Now, if I remember rightly, years and years and years ago, I was actually taken for dinner there by my ex-girlfriend. She was a famous person. I'm not going to talk about that. And there was this thing there, and it's like a 1920s. Do you know what I mean? The 1920s, like rah statues that you see in all the films with the flapper girls dancing and everything. And they have those, because I think the 1920s Art Deco stuff, some of it's beautiful. But they had this like a very Egyptian-like cat. It's one of them. And Casper will be placed in the 14th chair. I never knew that. And he'll be served all the courses of the meal. And Casper has resided at the hotel. Oh, look at that, since the 1920s. There you go. So Winston Churchill was particularly fond of Casper.
Describe him.
Who?
I have a photo of him. He's really cute.
Black Egyptian 1920 style. Let's have a look.
He's got a little bib on.
And I was right.
He's got
Show the people.
You have to, I'm not close enough.
Right. This is Casper the cat at the Savoy Hotel.
They put a bib on him.
See it?
Oh, I'd go there just for that.
There's two of them. There's that one, and there's another one with it. Where is it?
There's a bush one.
There's another one. He's a bit bigger, and he's got ears sticking up. But anyway, so that's Casper the cat at Savoy Hotel. Now, here's one something for you. On September the 13th, 1881, in room 13 of Manhattan's Knickerbocker Cottage, 12 expectant men sat around a table. The meal was all set out, big platters of lobster salad. Oh, quark, do something. Each mold.
I can't have lobster for Christmas.
Why can't you have lobster for Christmas?
I can't have shellfish.
Why can't you have shellfish?
I'm having a baby.
Because you're having a baby. Well, that's just a bit shellfish of him.
It is shellfish.
It is. Let's try this one again. We'll just go back in time a second. In room number 13 of Manhattan's Knickerbocker Cottage, 12 expectant men, were they pregnant, sat around a table, and the meal was all set out, big platters of lobster salad, each moulded into the shape of a coffin. And each coffin was surrounded by 13 crawfish, and the decorations were 13 candles exactly, and a big banner that read Nos Morituri Te Salutamus, Latin for Nero or Caesar. We who are about to die salute you. They were just waiting on one man. When an hour or so passed and the last guest hadn't shown himself, the dinner's host, William Fowler, took matters into his own hands. Smiling, he grabbed a nearby waiter who immediately went, "Aah!" And Fowler was just about to put the waiter through some initiation rites when the late invitee finally arrived. The frightened waiter was released, and the first of 13 toasts were made, and thus began the inaugural meeting of the 13 Club.
Whoa!
And here, hang on, what's Dave just said? 13th base settings is more likely linked to the Last Supper. Yeah. I think that's on here somewhere, if I remember rightly. and Judas being the 13th person, so it's more religious thing. See, that's why I'm not religious. I find religion fascinating, but for me, a lot of you're sleepy. For me, a lot of the things from religion tie into other stuff like ancient aliens and things like that. So
Ancient what?
aliens. That's why I'm called the alien guy, because I always find a link to the aliens. And just one thing, I would like to let my young apprentice here say aliens. Now give Ness and everybody else out there an aliens. Go on. Go on.
Aliens!
Yes! There you go.
I scared the cat.
You scared the cat.
Oh,
She dropped a biscuit. You scared her so much. Right. The Aztecs considered 13 to be a very sacred number, and it was a number of time and stood for completion. An Aztec week lasted for 13 days. I didn't know. And the Aztec year was two.
Sorry.
It was a car.
It was literally a car.
It was a car driving past.
Reflected in your window.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a car.
Yeah. Aliens.
The Aztec year was 260 days, and it was divided into 20 13-day periods. The 13-day period is called a trecena.
I have a question.
What's your question?
So how do we know that this is the year 2020 if their years were 260 days and ours are 365?
Because ours is based on the Gregorian calendar.
Right.
The Gregorian calendar is basically when all the religions get set together and started arguing and throwing fish at each other and stuff like that, and they had set up all these things about when this is going to be, what day this is going to be, this, and they decided on a 7-day week, and it was 365 days a year. If you,
That's really cool.
on Friday the 13th, 2029, NASA reckon that a huge asteroid will fly close to the Earth to see with a naked eye. Oh, nice one.
Crazy. Do you remember when they thought that we were going to get swallowed by a black hole?
There is so many jokes there.
No, do you remember?
I am fighting not
Do you
to come
remember
out with
that?
them. Yes, I remember
That
it.
was scary.
I remember the Earth being threatened with a black hole and a meteorite, and all the double entendres that followed it. So, is that Tony? That is Facebook user who said about 2029. There's actually a huge meteorite on its way here now, isn't it? And it's bigger than Jupiter, and it's going to go past us. But my only thing with that is when you look at the ancient records and stuff like that, it talks about that apparently Earth was a twin planet, and this one that's going around, which they reckon is the home of the Anunnaki, smashed into our twin planet.
Terry.
No, Terry, not Tony. What am I doing? Begins with T. It's close enough.
Because of Tony, isn't it?
Oh, I was talking to Tony earlier. Yeah, and they reckon that it's going to be close enough that it might even affect the tides and everything. I'm sorry, just one second.
No,
Can you just go with her?
I have to do.
Can you not keep walking?
I just spoke to her when we went out. All you have to do is have a bath, and then throughout the next week or so, then you'll be fine. Yeah.
Can you just go?
This is serious.
No.
Though.
Yes, go on, bath.
Shoot.
Don't shoot me. I'll
Shoot.
start right.
No,
Shoot.
please don't stop.
Now you see why I said in the previous show I was getting to be a little bit pissed off with the kids.
Why is there an open beer over there?
That's Becky's. That's
Oh.
fine.
Ah!
Oh my God, it's Carrie.
Scared
Hello.
me.
Right. Where was I? Oh, it's a dog this time. It's a dog this time coming in.
What's his name?
What have you got? What have you got? Have you got a fluffy donut? Fluffy dog donut. Right. So, the 13 heavens of the Aztecs, because we're talking about number 13. The concept of heaven and hell must have been a temporary storage place for the soul. Playing with humans even after death by the all-powerful deities. Men are truly toys of the gods. Again, this just reminds me of a meme I saw, but I'm not going to go there.
Dave has a good point.
Our year would be better off for 13 months, as correlates with the 13 lunar cycles of it in a year. Yeah. It'll make things a lot better. Men were truly toys of the god. I've got all the realms here. I don't know if you want to hear them or not, but from 1 to 13. Okay.
Yeah.
The Aztec realm of the gods. from 1 to 13. I thought we were doing your questions as well.
I can give a few questions now if you want.
Let's put a stop to this nonsense about number 13 just a little bit. And we'll do a couple of her pub quiz questions, shall we?
Here's some GCSE questions.
That means we're all going to totally fail on them.
What type of rock is created by extreme heat and pressure? Ingus, metamorphous, or sedimentary?
Ingus.
I put diamond because I didn't read the whole thing.
No, that is technically true because diamond is.
And which of these major sedimentary?
It's the bottom of a riverbed, I know.
Which of these major nutrients give the most energy per gram? Protein, fat, carbohydrates.
So, you guys, let's see if you can answer those questions. He's put metamorphic. That's Dave.
Oh, and you said Ingus.
Do you think I know this stuff?
So metamorphic is the layers, and then that's how you tell that there's different pressure because how thick and how thin.
The only time I ever look into rocks or bedrock or anything like that, as a lot of you might know, I'm a paranormal investigator as well. And if I go to a place that's got an abnormal amount of stuff going on, I look into the records and see if the bedrock that the buildings are based on is a type of crystal.
That's my REM's about 7. I was right. I put carbs.
Mathematical.
Nice. What was the question? So one of them was.
Hang on, Amy. Why don't you just join us? I'll put the link in.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll start from the beginning. We'll have a quick quiz, and then because it's only 17 questions.
I can't even remember where I get the link. Where do I get the links? Down here somewhere. Aha!
But I will tell you, I don't have the answers. So.
Right, hang on. Just bear with me, because I will be back in 1 second. I'm literally just going to put the link in so that if anybody from the presenters would like to join us, I will put it in here, and I'll go like that. And I will also put it in the HAPRC one. So if anybody would like to join us in here, you are more than welcome to.
Nan messaged me.
Your nan messaged you. That's lovely, but keep it to yourself for now.
No, I'm just saying she messaged.
Right. What are these questions? Amy wants to know. And who said aliens? Oh, it had to be pink, didn't it? Aliens! There was also a supper table in Valhalla. Yes, with the gods of 13. I did a show a couple of years ago on. In fact, I might do it next week because that's a nice tie-in on the gods. Invite Loki, yeah, because he killed one of them with an arrow attack with mistletoe. Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Oh.
Okay, Amy, you turn the computer on again. You can join us here. You can see my pink-haired brethren. Kerry, do you want to join us? Because it doesn't matter if it goes past 10. Neil's probably got his feet up and he's smoking a cigar, or he's sipping a minestrone. I don't know. So let's forget about the Aztec stuff for now. Did you know there's actually a Colgate University? Number 13, Colgate University. Now, number 13 is considered a very good omen at Colgate University in Madison County, New York. Wasn't there a film on the bridges of Madison County? Sure there was. You need to speak up a little bit, Tina.
So you need to add Ness into the chat.
Where's Ness? There's Ness. Ness in a dress. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the show.
Can you not do the Ness in the dress?
I think there she is. For some reason, you're talking and you moving are way out of sync.
It's caught up now.
Or is it caught up now? Oh, no, there you are. There you are. It has caught you up.
Cool.
Right.
Hi, everyone.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ness. Ness is my leader for the paranormal team I'm involved with, because I left one and joined another, which was Ness's. And she looks better than the last hairy mofo that ran the team. So, yeah. It's better. Yeah. The fact that you're hundreds of miles away from where I actually live is beside the point. I got a car, it's fine. I got a car, I got a motorbike, it's fine. Do you know what? Actually, think about it. Totally different, and this is where I've gone off on a tangent again. The motorbike might actually be better for the filming. Something coming up in the future, guys. Stay tuned. Colgate University has a great hockey team. They've been played twice in Belfast. Nice one. I was just talking about number 13, as you know, because somebody asked. And we're talking about Colgate University. It's a very good omen at Colgate University in Madison County.
Amy wants to come in.
Shall we let?
yeah.
Do we let? Can I hear? I can't hear Amy knocking at the door. I can see her. Are you? Do you want to come in, Amy? Do you?
Let her
Would you like to
in.
come in? Would you? Would you? Ladies and gentlemen, it is HAPRC's very own Pink. Pink.
I went the wrong way.
No,
With I think 15 questions.
we're doing the number 13, and we're doing pub quiz questions and answers as well.
Ah.
Okay.
The fear of the
Okay.
number 13 is trisecadecaphobia.
Say that 3 times fast.
Trisecadecaphobia. Trisecadecaphobia. Trisecadecaphobia.
No, I'm not going to suck a dick. Thank you very much. Right. Did you hear that? 3 at once, apparently. Anyway.
I can't do that.
Yes, because you haven't
If
had
you do it
enough
with the back of your
practice.
tongue, you do it with the back of your tongue, you like that. If you do it with the front, you like that. Can you corkscrew your tongue?
Pardon?
Corkscrew your tongue. Now we've just got Amy there going, oh no, no! On camera. Oh, hang on, we got one more. Hang on. Is
Hello.
right, Kerry.
I'm downstairs now with the
So-
dog, so I might have to go off if they start doing one, but they're all right at the minute.
That's it.
What
Well,
was
we've
the,
got
what was the
whatever
magic
they're doing behind
word?
us.
Lady!
No.
No, no, do tell. What's
He
this?
just looked round. Yeah.
Lady!
Is there is there a word that kicks our dogs off?
Yes!
Yeah.
And it's lady something, but I can't remember what it is.
Gaga?
What?
Bunny girls.
Funny girls!
It's a good job he's gone deaf, if I'm honest. It's a good job he's gone deaf.
Would you guys? We're talking about number 13, and we're also doing it like pub quiz questions as well, just to mix it up a bit. Would you like to join in?
Yeah, why not?
Well, we're seeing
Ness, will you cheer up, please? You're kind of looking like you've
got
lost
dogs
all
now.
will.
They're much
Oh,
prettier
I like
than
the
me.
staffy. I like the staffy.
It looks like
We've
it's got a black
Staffy.
eye.
Oh no,
He's
she
been
has.
Funny
fighting everyone.
girls!
Oh, it's gone. It's gone. You've scared him.
I'm
Right.
scared a lot.
And yes, Dave, Amy would need a big mouth for 3, but apparently she's used to it. Look at her.
I don't know what
Yes,
to say
yes, you
about
can do the
that.
quiz. Okay, I've got a question for you. It is a little bit risque, but I've just got one. Well, it's a joke. Hang on.
Who's it
Talking
for?
about that, you got 3 of them. Amy, you've got three gentlemen of a gay persuasion in bed. Which gentleman would be the downhill skier?
Well, it
The one in the
depends.
The one in the middle.
Right.
You have 5 in bed. Which one is the go-go dancer? The one in the middle.
Anyway.
Where's the tumbleweed?
I don't think that's where the D's will be
Probably
going.
caught up in the pink hair.
We've got more of a human caterpillar situation going on in my head.
Oh. Human centipede.
A human caterpillar.
Oh, I don't need to know about that sort of gravy. That's just disgusting. So, right.
You started it. Well, look,
Would you-
the dog's
would you
got all
like-
excited now. No.
Anyway, next question.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good question.
Get them ready for a quiz.
That's a good
Are you
question.
guys ready for a quiz?
Yeah.
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 I'll show how slow I can be, but yeah.
Okay, you're playing as well.
Oh, okay.
What is the only man-made object that is observable from the moon?
The pyramids.
Your mum's vibrator.
Jeez.
The space station.
Oh, no, I know.
The pyramids.
Wait, what are your... No.
Is it on Earth?
I know this.
Onto the ISS.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
on it.
The Wall of
No.
China.
Yes. Well done.
All right then, Care Bear.
On which island was Neapolitan exiled following his defeat at Waterloo?
Napoleon.
Napoleon. I said Neapolitan. Good luck with this one, 'cause I don't even know.
And yeah, you're right, Dave.
What was the
Which
answer?
island was Napoleon exiled to?
Saint Helena. Oh,
Is that the answer?
Is that the
Yeah.
answer?
Oh, there you go.
St. Helena.
Helena.
St. Helena. St. Helena. Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, which
Billy knows.
Elba? Do you know what? Funny enough, I was watching something the other day, and it was an island off the coast of Italy, and they were saying that that's where Napoleon was. No, that's where he grew up. I'm talking out my background.
since there's people playing in the chat, what is the capital of Australia?
Let them have some time.
Yeah.
No, I know Sydney. He's a good bloke.
Jeez.
Canberra.
What does everybody else say?
Oh, so what's the answer?
Yeah, you all had it right. Dave got it right. Claire Bag got it right.
Who was the mad monk in Russian history?
Oh,
Oh, Rasputin.
Boney M sang about him.
Rasputin.
Who was the mad monk?
Rasputin. No, that's Lady Gaga.
Rah, rah, Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen. Yeah.
I went a bit Lady Gaga
And he
then.
was probably doing his dancing as well.
What is the largest fish in the ocean?
It's a whale.
Oh,
And
no, I know what you're going to say.
I was going to say a whale shark then, but it's not. It's a proper whale.
I think that's it. Is it a whale shark?
No, it is the whale
Blue
shark.
whale.
Is it? Is it the whale shark? Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was another one.
Sure it is.
Is the whale a fish?
It's got the biggest gob, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a bit like Mark.
Is it related to you,
It
Amy?
opens its mouth like that. It opens its mouth and loads of fish just go in
It's called
it.
plankton.
That's the one.
The blue whale.
Oh, yeah, they don't use teeth, right?
No,
Because
it's the
mouth is so
whale
big.
shark.
The blue whale's a mammal. The whale's a
I
mammal.
was thinking of
Whale.
I thought that. I was just saying, just said it's a whale of fish.
No, because
No,
it
it's a
breathes
mammal.
air. It breathes oxygen, like a dolphin does as well.
In which country would you find 8 of the world's 10 highest mountains?
Ooh.
I was going to say Kilimanjaro then.
No.
It's Mount Everest.
Italy?
Mount Everest is the biggest mountain.
Yeah.
And then you got K2, haven't you?
Mm.
But that's in
Paul.
Tanzania.
Mongolia.
What was the question?
Is it Mongolia or something like that?
Well, Dave agrees with me.
In which country would you
Nepal.
find 8 of the world's biggest?
Then
is
the
Nepal.
dyslexia
Nepal.
kicking in.
Nipples!
Africa.
Dave's
Africa.
really good.
Do you want to see what my
Is that a country?
you know, you're just talking. You know, you're just talking about nipples. Want to see my bottle opener?
Oh dear. What's the answer, Taylor?
Yeah. It's Nepal. It's
Nepal.
Nepal. I was going to
Nepal.
say the Himalayas, but I
Nepal.
knew that's a mountain range, and it is in Nepal, but I didn't remember Nepal.
Himalayas.
Here's quite a difficult
Himalayas?
one.
Himalayas.
Which common word changes its pronunciation when the first letter is capitalized?
What?
Give us a,
Which common word changes its pronunciation when the first letter is capitalized?
Give us a clue. Give us all a clue.
A. Is it A?
It's right, a word.
Yeah,
A
that's
word. I don't
Yeah.
know.
What is
A is a word. Look. A.
A.
Okay.
My ex was
Are
called
you Canadian?
A.
Eh? Are you
What?
Canadian?
A.
Oh. No, it's not A. What is it? Really? Oh, yeah. It's the name of a country
When
in
it's capital-
Europe.
When it's capitalized, it's the name of the country.
And when it's not capitalized, it's something, you do that.
Or that.
Something what?
Spain.
España.
Exactly.
Spain and spam.
If nobody in the comments will say it's
Poland. Polish.
Polish and Polish.
Oh yeah.
Capital P is Polish.
Ah.
You wouldn't
I
think
knew
of
that.
linguistics at uni, would you?
I knew that.
Here's something about number 13 before we do another question. The US dollar bill, there's 13 bars on the shield, and there's 13 leaves on the olive branch, and there are 13 fruits.
Ooh, they're
There are
very
13
unique
arrows,
matches,
and there are
those
13
dogs.
stars. Yeah, and 13 stars above the eagle. There are 13 plums, I think they mean plumes, of feathers on each of the eagle's wings. Can you imagine an eagle carrying around 13 plums on each wing? I mean, it just go like that, and it'd be a load of danglies, wouldn't it? What do you want to take off? Keep tripping over its plums.
Talking of number 13, did you know on all the new housing sites they are not allowing the number 13?
Why?
Oh,
Really?
that's stupid. In hospitals, they don't have ward 13 or bed 13 often.
And in hotels they don't have room 13.
No, that's mainly in America, but yeah, you're spot on.
It wouldn't bother me.
It wouldn't bother me as well. I think 13's a good number.
I've
And-
been
and
to
in
one of
neurology,
the
1
haunted
to 4 is a good
locations,
one.
and
1
it's
to
like
3
a
is good.
hotel, and there's no room 13 on it.
13 in the Aztec calendar was one of the luckiest numbers you could think, and they have 13 realms of the gods, and they have 13 parts to their year.
Yeah.
I know. I'm looking at the staffing. Staffy's lovely.
But then we used to have 13 months
There's-
before we went Gregorian,
Yeah. I think I
Yes,
think we did
yes,
have
we did.
13 months.
didn't
See?
Yeah.
Told you we got in.
But there's also a fantastic film called The 13th Ghost.
13 Ghosts. I love that film.
That's a really good film. I like that.
we? Oh, I'll have to have a look.
Love
Um,
that film.
And here's something that you guys might very possibly know. Which witch trial had 13 witches that were found
Salem.
guilty and executed?
Salem.
Same
Yeah.
I was going to say we did
I got
a
it.
show on this.
Yeah. Poor women. Right, back to you.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
What is the most popular drink in the world that doesn't contain alcohol?
Coca-Cola.
Oh, that's got to be one of these.
I would have said
It-
that.
No.
Oh,
Water.
The popular drink.
tea.
Pepsi.
Oh God, the dog's blown off.
Oh, tea.
Coffee.
Tea.
Normal
Pepsi.
Coffee.
Tea.
Coffee.
You were right.
coffee.
Amy was right.
Oh.
The most popular fizzy drink is Coca-Cola.
It is Coca-Cola. All right, cool.
So I was right.
And the Facebook users said water.
Who's the
I said
Facebook
water
user?
when I said water when I had this.
On my end, because I'm hosting, it just says you've got Terry, who's in there, and it says Facebook user. And then you've got Dave, who I can see his name, and there's a couple of others who are in there, and I can't see the names, just says Facebook
It's because
user.
they
So I get
haven't
really confused.
accepted the settings of the Dark Mirror. Because they haven't accepted the settings for the StreamYard.
Got ya.
Yeah. Here's a good one, and I didn't know this. Does sound travel faster through water or steel?
Steel.
Steel.
It's denser, isn't it?
It's steel.
It's not my head then, isn't it?
Oh, you're like this. What was the first planet to be discovered with a telescope in 1781?
Uranus.
I shouldn't have said you like this.
Oh,
I was going to
right.
say, I was
I
going to
was
say
going to say
Mars
Pluto
or
for some reason.
I think Jupiter.
Uranus.
Venus,
It's Uranus.
Mars.
Jupiter.
No,
Pluto.
it's Uranus.
Uranus. It's Uranus.
Uranus.
I was going to say it's not Uranus.
Uranus.
It's Uranus.
What is it?
Oh my God, Scotty, you a-hole. Right.
It is not Uranus. What is it?
No.
What is it?
Wait, can I have one more question? This one.
Go on then.
Um,
It was Uranus.
Okay.
It's Uranus. It was Uranus.
Well, let give everybody in the chat room
I
a
know that
chance.
somebody, Harriet, kind of invented the telescope but didn't get the creds for it.
Well, that's like the inventor of the light bulb and everything like that, wasn't it?
Which country is bordered by both the Atlantic and Indian Oceans?
Ooh.
Good one.
South Africa.
I don't do geography.
No, I don't either.
No, I don't.
I'm shit at geography. I
America?
don't know. Genuinely don't know. That's Pacific. Isn't it?
Okay, see you later. Is that Terry?
Yeah.
Terry, see you later, Terry.
I'm just going to give them a moment to comment, and then I'll tell you.
Do you know, I reckon we might start doing this on the Friday night. We'll do a little bit of,
They commented.
he says Dave says South Africa as
It
well.
is South Africa.
I said,
Who-
I was
which one of
right.
you-
I said South Africa. Fucking spiders.
I can't high five you because everything's got a bit weird on the phone.
When did I become clever?
About 10 minutes ago.
Innit?
Winging it with style.
When you said South Africa, I actually remembered how the country, the tip of it, you've got the Atlantic on one side and then you've got the Indian Ocean on the other side, didn't you? That's why they get so many great whites over there. Ah, did you know a great white has been seen off the coast of Torquay the last couple of years now?
Really? Wow.
Yep.
A fact about sharks. The Zambezi shark, also known as the bull shark, can swim in fresh water as well as salt water.
That's right. That's right. It can do salt, fresh and brackish, can't it?
Yeah.
You do look
And also,
I love
you
sharks,
get
I
more
do.
crocodile attacks than you do shark attacks.
Yeah, you get more cow attacks than you do shark attacks.
There's more deaths by hippos. There's more death by hippos than anything else over
Hippos
there.
are really evil. They're scary.
I have two more quiz
Got a
questions.
funny like a hippo's yawn.
They make some weird noises as well, hippos. I've got a video of a pond of
Fannies
hippos.
or hippos?
Really bizarre. Hippos. And fannies. but
What's the
hippos
difference?
Well, I've seen a hippo fart, and it's
Why
not pleasant
not
because it
see
flings
that?
its poo everywhere.
The tail goes.
Sharks are found
Anyway.
far north as the Arctic. This is true, and you've got is it the Greenland shark? And it's
Yeah.
the world's oldest shark, isn't it?
Yes.
That one of them's been tagged, and it's like 600 years old or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they've
I mean,
also
that's
got the megalodon, haven't they?
No,
I think they have proof
Isn't that
of
just a film?
descendant of the
they think there's supposed to be a descendant of the megalodon because they found various whales and great whites which have literally just been bit, only the heads left.
Yeah.
And it's something with a dirty, great big gob, bigger than mine or Amy's, that's gone on these things.
Yeah, and they're presuming it could possibly be the megalodon, but they're not.
Megalodon,
100%
yeah.
It's an hybrid.
Mm.
I
And of
love,
course,
do you know what I love? I love the wobble gong shark. Believe me, it's a real shark.
That sounds awesome.
It is a
So
wicked.
it is. You'll have to watch like the shark programs because they actually show it on there. It is just so, it's brilliant.
Okay.
Dave's just said in the chat room there that they found teeth of the megalodon. Do you mean fossil teeth, or do you mean they found?
Well, sharks mainly
A lot-
built up of cartilage,
newer.
so the only thing that's bone on a shark is its teeth.
It's a thief.
So you know a lot about sharks' bones.
Sharks' bones are a cartilage. There isn't. Sharks don't have proper bones. It's cartilage.
Because their teeth rotate, don't they? They
Yeah, they have
they've
7
got like
layers
rows
of
and rows and
teeth.
rows, haven't they?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
have 7 rows.
All right, your daughter's
Did
trying
you
to give
know?
us the last 2 questions, and we've got like 5 minutes.
Thank you.
5 minutes.
Somebody's on after.
Carry on. It's Friday night. There's nobody after me. Neil's sat back having a cheroot and a brandy in his smoking jacket, going, "Yes."
The tailor,
carry
I
on.
would like another question.
I just have a fact. Hair doesn't fossilise, so there is nothing to say that dinosaurs didn't have banging hairstyles. Okay, I'll get your question. So,
Hair by Vidal Stegosaurus. Yeah.
I have three last questions.
Right, small places. You sit over there because you keep leaning against my leg, and it's going to sleep. Ow! And it's not my metal leg that's going to sleep; it's my real leg.
So,
Do you know? Before you do that, my metal leg is actually R2D2.
The look on Taylor's face is like, for God's sake.
He's like, can I just ask him some questions?
I've just got 3 questions.
You do as many as you want. It's like,
I've only got 3 left of the quiz.
you need some more.
You've got 3 questions left. Come on, mate.
Which country is
Not my third,
reputed to have the world's oldest flag design?
Flag design. China?
Yeah.
No.
Egypt?
It's not the UK.
Pardon?
Egypt?
I mean, that would be a good idea.
Is it Europe?
It is Europe.
Is it somewhere like Belgium? Holland was newish.
It's somewhere
Like
where
Romania.
I've been.
Italy.
In my capital.
Belgium. No?
Italy.
Germany.
Holland.
Do you give up?
Yeah.
Germany.
So you see, like the people in the chat room, everybody in the chat room.
It's pretty much. I think. Where is that? Is that in Holland? Where is that?
No, that's an actual country.
Right, I know, but it's near Amsterdam, right?
Denmark. Yes.
Don't tell them.
Of course it. No.
I was going to give them a guess.
Danny said Prussia. I don't think Prussia exists anymore, does it? I'm sure it was
No, but-
taken over by the Germans, wasn't it? Prussia.
What is the only letter in the English language that ends with MT?
Mint.
Dreamt.
Prompt.
M for Mike Tango.
Pardon, Amy?
I said prompt.
That's MTT.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. that's-
MT.
Who said that?
Who said dreamt? High five.
No, he's
It's
supposed
I can't reach it.
Okay.
You could no.
He just scratched his balls there.
Yeah.
That's because I hit the fuel tank far too hard on the bike.
Last question.
What about you copying me then?
Last question. What is the largest planet in our solar system?
Uranus.
Saturn.
No, Uranus is small.
No idea.
No, it's Venus.
It's Jupiter.
Mars.
Pluto.
If we say them all, we're going to be right at
Oh.
some point.
It's either Saturn or Jupiter. It's one of
Pluto's
those
been
two.
kicked out.
It's the
Pluto's a
moon.
dwarf planet.
Hmm?
The moon isn't a
It's not a
planet.
moon, it's a satellite.
Oh yeah, I knew that. Jupiter. I'll go with what Dave
F.
said.
Jupiter.
Jupiter.
Because it's
Cheers, Dave.
well, it's one of the only 3 planets that you can see from our Earth if you look in the night
Oh,
sky.
that's the planet
You
I
can see
when
Mars
I open my
sometimes.
window.
Yeah, the weird looking sort of like dull orangey light at the moment has been Jupiter, and sometimes you'll see Jupiter and Saturn, and once every blue moon you can see all the planets lined up, but you'll only ever see Mars, Jupiter, and Venus. You won't be able to see
No,
the
I
other planet.
always see one
I can
planet
announce-
out the kitchen window in the same place every single night.
It's probably
It's
Jupiter.
normally Jupiter, yeah.
I thought
I can announce the winner.
I thought it was the North Star, if I'm being honest, and then I got told it wasn't. It was one of the planets. I was like, really?
Yes, a planet.
Exciting.
I can announce the winner. Who only got 2 questions wrong.
Me.
Dave.
Well done.
Yay,
No,
well
in
done,
the chat
Dave.
room, Dave. Give him a round of
Wait a
applause.
minute, how does that work? I got every single one wrong, and I should have won that.
Yeah, but you only did half the quiz.
What do you guys think on a Friday?
Very well done.
What do you think about on a Friday if we, because I thought it was quite good, doing the show where we do a little bit of fact on the topic and then we do a quiz.
Well, I think
And
if
then a
we
little
do
bit of
it,
fact.
the
Or
show, and then the
you
last
could-
15 minutes.
Or you could see if everyone's been listening to what you've been saying and ask them questions about what you've been telling them.
Yeah, because then if we
No,
join
'cause I-
halfway through, we're screwed.
Sorry, say again, Ness.
I said if us three join in again halfway through and we haven't been listening,
Yeah.
then we're completely screwed on the quiz.
True story.
Well, you guys are welcome to join in any time you like, and because it's the 9 o'clock show, there's nothing afterwards, so we can chat and aim dribble for as long as you want, but you know, it's it brightens it up a bit because you know what the show beforehand's like.
Oh yeah, it's
No.
completely boring, the show before.
So
Nothing ever happens on the show
I
before.
don't know you're on about this before. What show is it?
That'll be the presenters hour, but I'm just thinking it's actually nice to see Amy with clothes on for once. So
I know,
that's cool.
I've only got my pyjamas on.
I like
Hold on, Amy.
It was
What?
Have you ever heard of this presenters show?
No, I've heard of the Lockdown Loonies.
Yeah, I've heard of that, but God knows what it's about.
No, I think there's all sorts of shit going on with it.
Just
I've
make
been told it's fucking mental.
We always know when it's a full moon because normally Amy gets up and moons the camera. But as Dave just said, Jupiter and Saturn are right next to each other in the sky at the moment, but they're just below the horizon.
Well,
May I suggest there's an app, Sky Map. If you download that and turn it on and turn your location on, hold it up and it'll show you where all the planets and stars are, everything in conjunction as to where you are right this second.
I've
What's
been
that
told
app called?
You've told me about 6 times.
Google's-
now.
Sky Map.
Yeah, Google Sky Map.
Oh, I'm not on Google.
There is an iPhone app as well. I think it's called.
It's an
Skywalk
app, you
or
daft
something
doggy.
like
You just download it from the app shop.
Yeah, but I've got Apple.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes,
the
it's-
iPhone.
I think it's in there. I'm sure it's in
If
there.
you go onto the app,
Sky
there'll
Map.
be like a Skywalk or Sky Map. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I've got
Yeah.
that.
And
I'll
it's
have a
very
look.
good because
And
sometimes
Mark,
we'll see a huge light in the sky.
Mark,
What? Yes.
it's Beltane today, so really we should all be naked dancing around a fire and jumping over it, but we're not.
Well, I would, but to be absolutely fair, once I drop my bottoms, my bollocks will just block out the light of everything. So I'm not going to do that. It's
Okay.
not fair on everybody else.
If you take your hat off, that'll counteract it.
I'll take my hat off and I'll give you a little clue. Envisage the you know when a lightsaber starts up.
Blinded!
There you go. What are you doing? Oh, okay.
Stop.
So
No, we're not singing. That's not what we're doing.
yeah, we are.
I said,
Wow.
what the hell?
sang a little bit. Millie went,
No, it's not what we're doing. No.
I tell you what, I came up on my Facebook last night was it said don't ever play this near your cats, and it was literally a sound of a cat going wow, and I put it on. This was about it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and Lilo comes stopping in like, what the fucking hell is she? I'm gonna rip her head off, and he's like, ooh.
it's a battle cry.
Than any cat.
If you play the
Male
sound of
cats,
cats in here, you can listen. You can hear the three of them. Amy especially, she's the loudest.
Turn them off for you.
Oh no, you blinded everybody again.
Oh,
What's your God
spoilers.
licking there?
Eyes!
I'm melted!
And this is genuinely why I wear a baseball cap now, because the light's right there. And because I shave my head, it goes boing.
I
And
want
as you
to
can see
at the
from the
moment because I've got a little bit of my hair that keeps going ding.
well, that's nice that you've got hair.
I took my tiara off and look what happened.
I don't have a tiara.
Well, that's because you're
Yes,
not a
all.
princess and I am.
No, I'm more of a fucking king.
Shall we sit back and just let them get on with it?
I'm a gothic princess.
So which one's the drama queen?
Bloody Amy.
Me?
Do you know,
I'm not a drama queen.
I only got 5 GCSEs and the only one I got a B in was drama.
There you go, drama queen all the way.
There you go, drama queen.
I was in school plays.
She did really well in drama.
Yeah, I did
She
love
did.
my drama.
Oh, I got some news for you. I meant to say earlier. I've been off. There's a film that's being made at the moment called The Matrix Diaries, and I've actually been offered a part in it. So I'm going to see what happens.
To get blown up.
I'm probably going to get blown up because of my hand and my leg, but I'll still be in it.
Hey!
Cool.
So you never know. You never know.
Awesome.
Oh, they can see him. Look, that's Chewie. This is Chewie.
What, Chewie's been derp at the moment.
He's a pug.
Oh, I love
Hang on.
pugs.
Oh, fun.
Is it the smelly pug that made you gag?
No, that's the one.
No, that was him.
Hang on.
This is Chewie. I got him first. He's 3 this year. And then Obi is on the floor. I got him
Come here,
last
you.
year. He's a
Come
year
on. Oh. Right.
July. This is Obi.
Oh, don't
He
have
never
a
picked
party.
up.
You'll push him out.
Oh, he makes everything melt, this one. Don't you?
Yes.
Oh, look at him.
Oh.
And this is Ghost.
Come here.
Right. Okay.
Right, I'm going to go,
And on that
guys.
note, I should say, and on that note, from a very different, and look at the time, 22:13. I'm going to wrap it up on that.
Hey.
Thank you for joining us, and hopefully you guys will join us again, and we'll do another quiz come subject. And
I can't see that.
Wave your
hell?
thumbs. Wave your thumbs.
Ow. Ow.
you might just see, really. I am going to slap your titties so hard. Right. I will see you guys
Thank you all.
next week.
Thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Mirror Show, and I'm Neil. Dear. Right.